I don't feel like such a little shit. You know that? Okay. I don't feel like I I'm gonna I'll color him for a little bit, but I don't want him on me the entire time. Cause he likes to scratch my clothes, and it's fine if he scratches my t-shirts, but not my nice dresses. But yeah, we'll get you off. Come on. Okay. As I was saying, I don't feel like I really belong anywhere. And I'm sure there's people that have experienced not belonging for a period amount of time and then finding their way around it. But for me, it's something that's always been present throughout my life. And I'm 30 years old. And there hasn't been significant change. It still remains the same. And I'm open to feeling like I belong somewhere. I think that would be fantastic. It just hasn't happened yet. I don't know, it's very difficult to explain. I've been feeling like this ever since I think I was maybe in middle school, 12, 13, 14. And I couldn't quite put my finger on it at the time because I didn't really understand. Until this day, I don't quite understand. But I don't have a physical location I consider home. I've met plenty of people that grew up in a specific city or town, and that's where they want to stay the rest of their lives. I admire that because they know so deeply that is where they belong. That is their home. And I don't have that. I grew up in a city, and I am not a city girl. In fact, keep me away from cities. Don't make me visit a city. Don't have me go to the city. I don't want to be in a city. I've grew up in a city. I went to a city last year. I went to New York. I digress. My home city is not for me because I don't like cities. Okay. Like, I've lived in different areas. I grew up in my hometown. Or cities rather. I grew up in my city, moved out for school. I lived in this really nice area close to my school, and it was wonderful. Ended up moving back to my city. I went to a different state. I came back, and now I live in a really nice area, but I don't see myself living here for the rest of my life. I don't see myself living anywhere for the rest of my life. And this might be weird to hear, but I don't see myself buying a home. I don't see myself living somewhere permanently because I don't have a place that I consider home. I've been exploring places, and I argue like where I'm at now is probably the nicest place I've been, but it's just, I don't know, like there's not a whole lot going on for me. Like, there's work, I have my coworkers, and I'm lucky to be with very thoughtful and supportive coworkers, and I feel like I've been growing as a person because I'm surrounded by these people that have all these positive traits. But outside of that, it's like, what do I have? You know, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that are like, oh, like, what about your family? I don't know. Maybe my childhood played like a part in me feeling this way, but I'm not a very big family person. I like being left alone. I like my space. I'm actually the only one that ended up moving out and has like a place of her own. I would consider myself like the black sheep of the family. And again, it's not because like I want nothing to do with them. It's just that I like my quiet, and my family's the opposite. They're extremely vocal people, and they, you know, have a knack for arguments. They're argumentative. They like making sure that their point comes across, and I, I respect that. That's not what I really want to surround myself with. Like, I want quiet, I want peace, I want slowness, and that's unfortunately being like away from them. I don't have a place that I feel like I'm tied down to, and to be honest, I think my friends have a pretty big role in like me feeling home. But as I mentioned before, life happens. So there are many friends that, we just stopped talking, or friends that I outgrew, or friends that had, other priorities in life, and we just drifted. Once those friends are gone, then what? What do I have? I have friends that I think, I would say are lifelong. But even then, again, they have their own experiences, they have their own priorities. Like I have friends that are going to school, going back to school, and they're very busy. I have friends that are doing career changes or moving to a different area. So there's constant change. And I feel like I experience constant change. And I don't know if it's ever going to stop. And I don't know if I'm ever going to feel like this is my forever home. Like, what if this is just how I am? What if, like, it never changes? What if I'm just meant to live life just different? Experiencing different. I talked to my therapist about this too, and I don't know, I think I've kind of been like struggling with it a little bit, especially lately. I don't know if you can hear that, but someone's mowing. Like I told her, like I feel like I'm not normal. Actually, I don't know if I said normal or something along those lines, but she responded with, why would you want to be like everyone else? I don't think I want to be like everyone else. I enjoy being different. I enjoy being weird. Because I get to meet people who enjoy my presence for me. Me being genuinely myself. And there's something fantastic about that. Meaningful. It's just been weird. And I think that's a topic that's been kind of stuck in my head because I'm going through a few changes in my life. I've lost friendships. I lost a connection with a guy that I thought was it. And turns out it wasn't, because I was still holding on to former patterns that were not doing me of service, and I was still, I suppose, attracted to difficultness. And a part of me still is. I'm not going to lie to you. A part of me is still unfortunately wanting closeness to the point where it would be detrimental. The only difference is that I don't put myself in those situations anymore. I acknowledge that I feel that way and that I want to, and I just sit with it. As painful as it might be in the moment and as uncomfortable it is, I just sit with it. I don't even know. I just went on a tangent. I think I just been craving a sense of belonging recently. Because I have been lonely. And I do have friends. It just feels like something's missing, you know? And I have an idea of what I want and I'm looking for, but I don't know exactly what it looks like. So I'm just existing for now. I'm just going with the flow because that's all I can really do right now. Just, sit down and look at all of the progress I've made, because there has been so much progress. We've come a long way. And we still have a long way to go. I don't know. It's a weird feeling. It's like a mix of being proud of myself, being happy, and a mix of sadness. Because I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but I have an idea what I'm looking for. I do want to feel home, but I'm not exactly sure what that feels like. And the closest thing I've had to experiencing it is through connections, but a lot of these connections have ceased to exist. I don't know, maybe I'll find it, maybe I won't. I think that's all I have. Goodbye.